Hi, friends. I'm here to help. I saw the thing that Dak said a little while ago. I was going to pop in here and do this earlier, but I was like, oh, I got to go do all these other things. And then I was like, well, I should probably do it. It's breaking news. It'd be good to be timely, Jeff. Get it together. So Dak Prescott talked to Jori Epstein of Yahoo Sports, and Jori's awesome. And so there's now not just the quotes, but the video and the audio is on the internet of Dak talking about Mike McCarthy and how he thinks that he should get another contract, get to coach the Cowboys again, and he should get a chance to do it. Let's see, what exactly did he say? Let me see. Get verbatim. Coach this. I guess you could say more influence on his terms is the exact phrasing. What's up, everybody? Good to see you in the chat. More influence on his terms is what Dak thinks that Mike McCarthy should have. And I do enjoy this for like 8 different reasons. Number one is for like the immediate, hell no, fire that man. You think that means Mike taking over control? No, so I can tell you what it means. We've talked about it and hinted about it. And today on the DLLS Cowboys podcast, on my little Jori rant, it was laid out for you. What Dak means is here's another one that I like. Dak should be the last person to talk about someone else getting another contract. That's what we're going to have. That's what we're going to have a lot of fun with. It's how many people are going to be like, fire them both. I actually like Mike McCarthy, so I enjoy that this is going to set everybody on fire and double and triple down on the idea that he might be back. So here's what Dak means. Dak means that Mike McCarthy deserves to be the head coach and coach this football team when Jori hasn't cut our legs off before the season started. That's what he means. That this year, because the Cowboys, while Jori was playing games with you guys by saying all in, all in, all in, all in, and all that stuff, he told you the truth one time this offseason when he said Dak's going to have to do more with less and we're not going to help him. He told us. He told you, he told me, he told everybody. But then he farted around with the words all in and we forgot that he told us that they're not going to try. 2024 was to reset the books. Nobody who's going to have dead money, not a bunch of restructures. We're going to keep cap space that we can carry over. 2024 is, was, and always will be the year that the Cowboys got the books straight. Dak gets his deal. CD gets his deal. We clean up everything else, and we get ready for when we're going to try again the next year. It was a setup the whole time. That's what he means. He just means there was a setup, and he likes the head coach. Troy Aikman thinks he's a good head coach. I think he's a good head coach. A lot of people think he's a good head coach. Do I wish that he could be the head coach and maybe we had some younger, more fun offensive coordinator? Sure. But I just want to make sure everybody knew what Dak is talking about when he says that Mike McCarthy should get another contract with more influence on his terms. He means when the organization is trying to help us win and not actively working against us being able to win, which is what this season was always going to be. Like, there's no way that you let 5 or 6 starters walk, 8 contributors walk, and replace none of them via trade or free agency and say that you were competing for a Super Bowl. You weren't. They weren't. They weren't trying. They were just trying to not spend anything, save it up, eat Zach Martin's dead money next year, Brandon Cook's dead money next year, Tank Lawrence's dead money next year with the $20 million that they didn't spend this year. And now we got clean books. We basically got 2 highly paid players, and that's about it. And now we can do what we got to do. So that's all. That's all. Hey, Jeff, how many bad drafts would it take before they shake things up in the personnel department or dip their toes in free agency? I do think they're going to dip their toes in free agency. I hope it's this offseason. There's a chance it's going to be another year of this. There's a chance that because they're going to give Parsons his contract, that they're going to purge even more things. And if they do, they're going to suck again next year. And it'll be a setup for whoever's here. This year was a setup, and it's unfortunate. But that's what it was. They didn't try to win. They didn't plan to win. They planned for Dak and Mike to take the heat for it too. That was the plan. But whatever. What are you going to do, you know? I've gotten started on the draft stuff. I've watched like 15 guys. I'm ready to go get us a running back in the second round. You know, I'm cooking over here. You can't hurt me, Jori. Would you pay Osa? Yes, I would pay Osa. I would pay Jordan Lewis. I would pay Chauncey Golston. I would pay Jeff, why am I blocked on your channel doing super chats? I don't like that. I don't know why, but I don't like that. Anybody who wants to give me dollars, I wants it. I wants all the dollars. I needs them. I got a pool to pay off. What running back in the second round? I'm glad you asked. Omarion Hampton. If he makes it that far. I watch like 5 running backs. It's Ashton Jeanty, Omarion Hampton. Then you can argue about the rest of the guys, at least in my eyes. That's the way I see it. Is it's 1, 2, dog pile for the rest of them. But that's not the point right now. I got to go watch and see if the Mavericks are going to make it in this thingy thing. I think we are so blocked on the super chat on here. What does that mean? No, we just got one. Jerry says player they want will be there at number 22. Yeah, whatever player they want will obviously be there whenever. Yeah, for sure. Thoughts about Landon Jackson? No, you can't ask me about players yet. You can't ask me about players yet because I've only seen like 15 of them. Give me 2 weeks, and I'll have at least 40 or so. Then we can cook. But for now, we just need to make sure that everybody understands what Dak meant when he said Mike McCarthy should get another contract with more influence on his terms. All he meant was that he deserves to try to coach this team when the team's trying to win, not when the front office is trying to sandbag us. Can't super chat for some reason. It says I'm blocked. Well, this is bull stuff. I will fight you, YouTube. I need my super chats. How did caller Steve? Whatever. I love you guys. I just thought it was newsworthy and I'd pop in and say hi to you. You think Terrence Steele's a post-June 1 cut? He would be for me. I have no idea. Like, I haven't heard any of the beat writers report anything like that. The Cowboys love Terrence Steele. They always have. That's just, in my mind, something that makes all the sense in the world. And they just restructured him. So it hurt a little bit, but it only hurts a little bit, and you save a lot. I think it's a no-brainer, but they, because they're not trying their best, don't have anybody to replace him either. So maybe they can't. I don't know. Yeah, I can't super chat on this channel. Did I use the wrong software? Which one? Sorry, Jeff. I think we should fix the trenches. But you can't do that. You can't just say, I want to tackle a DN to D-tackle DN. That's part of why they suck right now. Their first 3 picks in the last draft were forced because they were just like, no, we're not going to pay Tyron because we're not trying to win this year. We're just going to clean up the books. So now we have to find the left tackle. When are you going to find a starting left tackle? We have to go in the first round. And they screwed up because they forced a pick. Second round, they forced a pick. I think Nealon can play. I think Beebe can play. But they went forced pick, forced pick, forced pick. Terrible idea. Any blowback from psycho comments? No, I hadn't. Who would I hear from? Nobody from the Cowboys emails me anymore. I think they hate me. Let's get back on track. Team Tank. Only caller Steve can super chat somehow. I need to find the setting that says only caller Steve can super chat because clearly that's the button that I clicked. Am I the only one that thinks Gruden checks all the boxes of criteria the front office looks for in a head coach? Wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me. Guy that looks like Gruden and Jerry can say he's won a Super Bowl, wouldn't shock me. You think the play calling has been better since Dak went down? Meh. I think when your team sucks, people pile on everybody. I think the idea that Mike McCarthy is boring or doesn't do anything right or doesn't call the right, like McCarthy calls a trick play, it doesn't work. He's a dumbass and he should just run the ball up the middle. McCarthy runs the ball up the middle and he should have called a trick play. He calls a trick play and it works. And oh my God, they're finally being creative. They ran the same play a week ago and 2 weeks ago. And when it didn't work, you called him a dumbass and then it did. And you're like, now he's in his bag. We just base it on if the plays work or not. I think Mike McCarthy's a middle of the road play caller. I think he's a middle of the road play caller. Jeff, don't you want our hard money? Yes, I want all of your hard-earned money. I'm alarmed and hurt that I can't have it. It hurts my heart. Whatever. Just tell your friends to subscribe to the channel and follow the DLLS Sports as well so you can hear my other stuff. I don't know what's going on. But we're going to draft them up. Draft season is approaching. Just need them to lose to Cincy. Lose to the Bengals so everybody can get back on track and stop worrying about these weird ideas that you could go on a magical run that ends up in the postseason because you won out and Washington didn't win any games and the teams in front of you didn't win any games. Just don't worry about that. Jeff, did you get around to playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? No. I don't. What does the rebirth part mean? Am I still Cloud going after Sephiroth? I want to play Final Fantasy X, play Blitzball, the little mini game that was in there. Do the Ject shot. What was it? The Ject 2.0, something like that. All right, guys. Have a great night. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to go do something. I don't know. What Dak meant was they never had a chance. And this is all Jerry's fault. But because they did it this way, they can spend more later if Jerry stops being cheap. Will that happen? Who knows? He loves hoarding his money. He's Scrooge McDuck. Remember, you have no idea what Scrooge McDuck is going through, so be cool to everyone. I love you. Be easy.